Now let's take a look at how to build a basic action and also all of the variations you can do in using that action once you get it built. So let's begin. First thing you want to do is scroll your list of actions all the way up to a place called Default Actions. Just always start there. Trust me, this is the voice of experience speaking. Okay, now you've got your default actions established. Come up to this little icon right here which says Create a New Action, and we're going to give this the name Hallstatt, if I can learn to spell, and then click on record, and from this point forward everything that I do to this image other than resize it within the workspace is going to be recorded, and then I can stop the recording and play it back an unlimited number of times against an unlimited number of images in the future. So let's begin. First thing I want to do with this is I want to boost the saturation. I'm going to go like this, and there you can see we've had a boost in the saturation. Say OK. Now the next thing we want to do is increase the contrast because it's just a little bit flat, so we'll click on curves and pull this in just a little bit. Give it that adjustment. Click OK. And see, here's the new action right here. Here's the hue and saturation adjustment we did previously, and now as soon as the curves process finishes, it's going to be shown below hue and saturation. Right there. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is change this to black and white. And I'm not going to take the default conversion. I'm going to go with a high contrast red filter, and I'm going to back off the reds here just ever so slightly because that's just a little too much coming through there. Hit OK, and you can see the process being saved right there. Now I want to resize this image, and one of the things that doesn't get recorded is this view drop down list here. So if I go to actual pixels and then I go to image size, and I want to change the size of this image from 5634 pixels to 800 for use on the internet, hit OK. Now I'm going to sharpen it, and the settings are just a little bit high, so I'll change that right there. Again, click on OK, and notice how this list is beginning to grow. So now that I've treated it for the internet, I want to save it for the web. Well, I want a more than 60%. Let's go with 80% quality on the JPEG, which results in a file size of 168K, which anybody can deal with. So we say save, and then we're going to save the image. And once we've saved the image, the final thing to do is to close the image. And we're not going to save the changes. We just want it for the internet. We're not going to print it, so I don't want a full-size copy of this image. We'll just say no. And so now that we're done, we come down here and notice this red button has been live the whole time. Now we're going to stop the recording process. Now I can execute this number of steps on the image automatically. So I'm going to bring the image back up. Let's open it again. And here we have the original image once again. I'm going to hit fit on screen to see it a little better. Now I'm going to click on Hallstatt. Actually, I'm going to change the view on this to actual pixels. Now I'm going to put this on Hallstatt, then come down and see this play button right here. Okay, you click on this play button and it runs the action, and watch what happens to the image. Wait, I'm going to uncheck this area right here because I don't want to close the image. We click on it, and all of the processes run automatically without you having to do anything. And there we have the finished product. The only thing I took out of there was close. Now, what about these check marks? What did I just do? Well, I'm going to go back to the history panel, and I'm going to go back to the very beginning of this image. And don't forget that the processes executed on the actions are also recorded in the history tab. So we're going to go back to actions, and this time let's say I don't want to change it to a black and white image. So I'm going to uncheck this step. And now it's going to be eliminated from the finished product. Let's take a look at what happens. And here we have the color picture. And I can uncheck or check any one of these areas here to take it out of the sequence. So there's how to record, how to build, and how to use your basic action in Photoshop CS6.